Hello, I just did a cooking video on how I cook my chicken. I'm going to show you at the end how the chicken turned out. But you gotta watch how I do these vegetables, because without vegetables, the meal isn't complete. I chopped up these potatoes and I wanted to show you, this is a treasure. Don't throw this out. My son said, oh, I throw those away. I said, no, don't throw those away. You don't have to waste the whole potato, but if you chop enough of it off, I scrub my potatoes because I leave the peeling on. But if you chop this off, you can plant this, bury it however you want, into some dirt. And when the plant starts coming up, pile more dirt on it, leaving some of the green. And then if you get it real tall, you'll have potatoes growing on the roots all the way up as they go. So don't throw this away. I'm going to put it in here because this is where I put my kitchen scraps for my garden. And so I'll just put that in one of the pots and I'll have potatoes. It takes about 3 months, and I think we've got time to grow some more potatoes. My son says I shouldn't waste my energy on white potatoes, but I like white potatoes. Oh, look at that. That's the danger you come into when you have a potato so old like that. But it's okay. I'm just going to boil some of these potatoes for to have. And I might mash them, or I might just serve them with plain. I don't know. Hold on. Let me put some water on these and get them to boiling. Or at least I want to get some water on them so they don't. If you're fixing potatoes, and if you just want to have them, it's something you can do ahead. You can put some water over them and they won't turn brown. So this is going to go on one of these back burners. I needed to put that pan away before I started, but I didn't. So I'm going to stick it over here out of the way. This is the pan I'm going to stir. Can you see that pan? Yes. I'm going to stir fry these vegetables in. Now the phone's ringing. I'll have to get back with it. Oh, Lou will get that. It's spam. We get a lot of spam. This is a clean washcloth. I just wanted to brush that away. This is bok choy. Now you kind of have to wash in between the leaves. For bok choy is very healthy. There's a lot of protein. So you get protein and greens. To prepare bok choy, I think I've already shown you how to prepare bok choy. And I see inside here, it was getting a little bit old. So I'm separating these pieces out. I'm going to cut that off. We don't want to eat that. I'm only fixing one. These are called baby bok choy. Because bok choy can get really big. Sometimes they get this big. I like the baby bok choy better. The greens are better. I still haven't gotten to that part, have I? Come on now. Hold on, let me find out what's wrong with that. Oh, it's okay. There it is. See, you want to separate these pieces and make sure that there's no dirt lingering. And once you get them separated, just kind of collect them up. And I'm just going to chop it up like this because I'm going to stir fry it. I don't want that. That doesn't look good. And I don't like the tip of that So you stir fry it all. You stir fry this part, which is delicious. That, not so good raw. Put that in here. This is a zucchini. It's part zucchini, part squash. It has a special name, and I bet you can't guess where I bought it. Yep, my local organic farm. And this is probably more than Lou and I can possibly eat, but I'm going to have to. I had 2 of these, and I know we couldn't eat. This one's getting a little bit big. We could plant those seeds, not the ones I chopped, but you could plant some of those seeds and grow some yourself. If you buy this organically, you might not be able to grow vegetables from. I need to slice this thinner. From just regular, conventionally grown vegetables, because they treat them. Now I heard that they even spray vegetables with something that keeps them from growing seed, or just being keeps you from being able to produce anything from them. I like garlic and onions, these things that normally sprout if they're healthy, and they spray them with something that inhibits them from growing. So you can't take a garlic that's been sprayed like that and expect it to grow. Just cut one end of this onion off. I have a hard time peeling white onions because they're so hard. Now what I'm going to throw the onions into the pan first, so that's why I left them last to cut up. I plan my cooking by how I stack my vegetables in there. Trying to get this done quickly because I don't want to waste too much of your time. If the peeling doesn't come off, I just ignore it and I just start chopping. Oh, I should have. Oh boy, did you see what I did? I forgot to take the skin off. Oh, it came off. Okay, that's why I go ahead and start chopping. It just makes the skin, it's easier to get the skin off. I'm just looking for the skin. There we go. I really meant to take the skin off before I chopped. That's why I was telling you. Then I forgot what I was doing. Okay, I'm doing this as quickly as I can because I really want you to see how I stir fry it. Okay. Onions are very healthy. They provide nutrients. Onions and garlic, they're all like in the same class. And scallions, let's see, what else can I think of? Scallions and scallops, green onions. You probably can think of more. All right, now we're going to start heating that pan up. learned somewhere that you should heat your pan up before you add your oil to it. Oh boy, it got in my eyes. Let me go get the salt. Here's my salt, my pepper. I'm almost out of salt. I'm gonna have to refill this. Okay. The tomatoes. Don't forget the tomatoes, because tomatoes kind of this is like a sauteing pan that I like. It's a cross between a wok and a skillet, I guess, but I like it. I have a wok, but I like this when I'm when I'm just sauteing vegetables. Come on. Let me get my spatula here. Just letting that warm up just a little bit. And while I'm doing that, I can go ahead and, I think I already rinsed these off. I better do it again. I'm sure I rinsed them off. Oh, look, I have found another potato over here that I had intended to go in there. This is typical. When you cut them, if you don't cut them in chunks, if you cut them kind of flat, they're flatter, more surface can get to the, can be heated up at the same time. I think they cook faster this way. Here, let me throw these in this pan. Beep, 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 beep. I'm going to turn this pan on too. I'm going to put that pan on high to bring those potatoes to a boil. Okay. Ah, that's hot. You want to put your onions in there first, because the onions flavor up the oil, sets the stage for everything else that you're going to cook. That's if you're adding onions. I think I need a little bit more oil. And you want to salt it right away, because you want those onions to be, you want the salt to cook into your vegetables. You don't want to add the salt later. Sorry. I wish you could smell that. You would be so jealous. You'd be wanting to have dinner with me. But I'm only cooking enough for an army. That zucchini is made so much. I mean, squash. Now, don't stir them around, because if you leave them sit and unbothered, then they'll get a little bit of a green, they'll get a little bit of a brown texture to them. And yes, I'm placing these particularly so that they will be in contact with the hot oil in an effort to get them to brown up. Just some of them. You can't brown them all up. And while that's browning, I'm going to cut these tomatoes. The best way to cut tomatoes with the skin is with a serrated knife. You always want to take that center out like this. My parents knew how to conserve. Some people just cut the whole top off. And you're actually wasting a little bit of tomato and not getting deep enough down, because you see, you want to get that white part cut out. I'm just going to slice these tomatoes up while I'm waiting for those onions to brown. Well, in fact, you know what? I think I could throw some more in there, just on top of it. Just don't disturb the onions. You want them to get a nice little... Here we go. Okay, everybody. Lots of salt. I mean lots of salt. Lots of pepper. Pop goes the weasel. Okay, I don't know if I popped that weasel enough or not, but here we go. I'm slicing up these. I should call myself the singing chef. No, that's already been taken, I'm sure. Besides, nobody really wants to hear me sing. Here we go. The tomatoes are optional. Tomatoes add a little interest in texture and flavor. Like I said, it's optional. If you've never had cooked tomatoes, you should give it a try sometime. You can cook tomatoes just by themselves. Another way to cook tomatoes is, what is it I like? Oh, is if you're making Mexican, you can fry up some hamburger and get, or steak or chicken or whatever, and while you're stir frying it, or frying it up, you can add tomatoes to it to kind of create a little bit of a moisture. Okay, here we go. Now I think the onions on the bottom have had plenty of time. Let me get you a little bit closer in there. See how that looks? I'm going to stir that up in just a little bit, but I have to add some more water to this. Because I added the potato to it. Here we go. And I have to add a whole bunch of salt. Hold on. Sometimes I use regular old Morton's iodized salt. Because every once in a while you have to have the iodine. But Lou and I eat a lot of fish. Tuna fish, salmon, whitefish, codfish, whatever it takes. Now while those are cooking, I'm going to let you see my chicken. Oh boy, that was, I tasted when the sizzle onion. That's delicious. All right, here we go. Look out, boys, because here comes the chicken. You see that? Nope. Okay. I'm going to take it out of there. Put it on this plate if I can. You know what? I always seem to have the wrong thing. And now I can't find the thing I had earlier. All right. See if I care. Here we go. I think 18 minutes would have been the right amount of time, but I left it to completely cool down. And there we have it. Look at all that juice. I'm going to turn that into soup or a sauce for gravy But in the meantime, I'm going to set it aside because... So there you have it, folks. This is the meal that we're going to have for lunch. We have the chicken, stir-fried potatoes, vegetables, and boiled potatoes. Maybe mash them. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you will please let me know in the comments that if you like these videos. They're hard to do, but I can do all things through Yahushua, my Messiah, who strengthens me. Hallelujah. Praise Yahushua. I love you.